Hey guys, welcome to my first review on this channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the Steam controller, which is made by Valve and is designed to bring PC games to a more console-like experience. And so let's get right into it by starting with the hardware aspects of this awesome device. So, what you get in the box apart from the Steam controller is first off this little wireless dongle here that allows you to play with the controller wirelessly when you plug it into your computer. Then there's this little stand, which I'll talk about a bit more in a second. You get two AA batteries, which are what's used to power the controller. You also get a micro USB cable. Let me just pull this out right here. Yeah. And so, this is a little micro USB cable. You can use it to plug into the stand here. At the back there's a micro USB port. And then you can plug in the USB dongle. And so now you have a wireless little stand. You can also use the micro USB cable to play wired with the controller. Now for a physical tour of the controller itself. So up top you can see it's got a rubberized plastic with a glossy plastic. Sadly there is glossy plastic. But there are also these two little vertical slides that angle your thumb straight onto the two trackpads. So you also have all the face buttons, which are in the same layout as an Xbox controller but in a different position obviously. You have the one analog joystick, which moves very nicely if you ask me, curves upwards. You got the Steam home button, which acts as shift tab in theater mode. You've got the two little extra buttons you can reprogram. The whole controller is reprogrammable, which is nice. You've got the trackpad, very nice trackpad by the way, works extremely well. You also have the D-pad, which doubles as a secondary trackpad, which is especially useful for typing, makes it like texting on a phone, almost. Then you have the bumpers, two bumpers, they're pretty decent. You have the dual stage triggers, which are very nice. They you can press them down once and it acts as a trigger, and then press again and you got dual stage triggers. And then you've got the paddles on the back, which are also reprogrammable and are great to use in FPS games. Then you have this little locking mechanism on the back, which allows you to take the paddles off and access the batteries. One great feature about the trackpads on the Steam controller would be that, as Steam calls it, HD haptics, which in my opinion really helps with the experience of using the Steam controller, because it's like haptic feedback on a controller, except it tracks where your finger or thumbs move on the trackpads, which really just takes it to a next level in goodness of how it works. Another great feature on this controller would be the gyro controls, which I'll get into more in maybe another video. Now we're going to talk about a bit more about the software aspect of using the Steam controller. Now first off is Steam really wants you to use big picture mode when you use this thing, and a lot of people complain about it being very glitchy and having issues. I've noticed some of that, but for the most part it's okay if you're using it on a TV. On a PC it's still good, but luckily for you, you can still use the controller in the normal Steam configuration. One great advantage about the Steam controller is how it's fully customizable. This means that any button on the controller can do anything a keyboard could do, or a controller or a mouse. It can emulate any type of control system that you can use with a PC. This is amazing because if a developer hasn't fully supported the Steam controller with its game, for example, if you're playing an older game like I was, Battlefront 2, it's not supported fully, but the community can go through and make controllers. So if you don't have the time to make your own controller layout that you like, you can just go through the controller configurations in the community tab, and you can find tons upon tons of different controller configurations which you can use and import into your controller and use for your games. And this is great because it means you can also have different configurations for different games, which in my opinion is really cool, and you can also modify your own configurations and upload them to the community for people to use. Now we're going to talk about a few games I tested with the Steam controller. First off, let's jump right into it with Broforce. Now Broforce is pretty much the same as other games. You use the analog stick to move. You can change that if you want, but you can use, basically straight out of the box, you can just use the analog stick and the face buttons to play the game, but you can also use the paddles on the back, which I guess makes the Steam controller more unique in the Broforce experience. But really, Broforce isn't a game that really benefits or has any negatives with using the Steam controller. We're going to jump straight into our second game here, which is Battlefront 2, which in my opinion is the quintessential first-person shooter of this generation. And I chose this mainly because it's a first-person shooter, so I could test out what the controller feels like, and also because it's an old game, which I could use the community to test out different control schemes. But I have to say, the controller handles pretty impressively in first-person shooters. I hear many people saying they don't like him in first-person shooters because there's only one joystick, but I have to say, after playing for a few hours, I got quite used to using a trackpad to aim, and while it did feel choppy at times using that to aim, it also felt more accurate. I actually feel like I hit more targets. It just felt more sturdy and accurate using the trackpad, although at times it could be a bit choppy. But I would definitely say that the Steam controller is great for first-person shooters as well as arcade games. Now we're going to talk about the game I think the Steam controller shines the most in, Civilization 6. Now the reason I say I think it works the best in this game is because Civilization was previously only playable with a keyboard and mouse. You couldn't really play with a controller, but because of the Steam controller's excellent mouse and trackpad emulation, it makes Civilization playable. It's more than playable, it's really simple to use. It's almost as easy as using a keyboard and mouse, and it's equally as fun sitting on the couch, you know, TV hooked up with an HDMI cable to your laptop, and you can just play with your Steam controller. It works amazing, and this just proves what the Steam controller was made for. It was made to bring that sort of PC experience, which you could only accomplish with a keyboard and mouse, to the couch with a controller, and I think Civilization is the best game that shows this off, in my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of short, brief review of the Steam controller. I'm probably going to do some more videos on it in the future, you know, some custom configurations and using it with older games, testing it out some more. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. As always, thanks for watching.